Jacob deGrom getting set to start this game number 2. 27 strikeouts in 20 innings. Mets looking to even up the World Series against the Royals, and it's coming right up.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your first taste of the big spotlight. We've already seen a little bit of everything.
An inside the park home run, and it gets through.
Are you kidding me? Crazy stuff going on.
Into the 14th inning we go. Here comes Escobar. The Royals win game 1.
Kansas City is comeback city.
Now, the dust is settled. Now, it's time to do it again.
They set up an exciting series for us. It's amazing.
Tonight, the drama continues as the Royals fight to take command of the series. But that'll be no easy task as the Mets send another feared arm to the mound.
So tough.
That's unhittable.
This is when the game of baseball is at its best.
This is your encore performance. Sustain your progress or turn the tables in your favor. The show starts now, and Game 2 is your stage.
The Fox World Series pregame show presented by Chevrolet. Special thanks to Rob Lowe from Fox's new show, The Grinder. All new episodes Tuesdays coming your way on Fox. Here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, they're fired up. It's the Pete Rose Fan Club. They're here to see Pete. I don't blame them. I came for the same exact reason. Welcome to our set here in left field. So good to see you, and we have a great game 2 coming your way. Petey, they're here to see you.
Well, I appreciate that, Ben. Thanks. They're here for everybody. Alex, it won't be the same Friday night in New York, brother.
Well, Pete, like I told you last week, I have a PhD at getting booed.
That'll be that PhD
It
we
will
put
come
to
in
use.
handy.
Hey, we've got the Hall of Famer, the Big Hurt,
Thanks,
Frank Thomas. Here is the hit king, Pete Rose. Raul Ibanez, 19-year veteran, 3-time MVP, current Yankee, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. All right, since 1987, only 4 teams that have lost Game 1 have gone on to win the World Series. You believe that? 27 other teams have gone home. So the last team to lose Game 1 and win the Fall Classic was the 2009 Yankees. Well, ironic that I have a 2009 Yankee sitting right here. So you were in that spot. You're down Game 1. What were you thinking? What were you feeling down 1-0 heading into Game 2?
We were feeling pretty good, Kevin. We had a great team in 2009, and we were a confident bunch. Pete, every time we took the field, we thought we were the better team, and we were going to win that game. And I'm sure the Mets feel that way, or else they should feel that way.
Right.
But one great thing that happened for us in 2009 was we had Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. They came in and rocked the house in Yankee Stadium. They got us amped up. They got us excited. Kevin, we won the game, and we were able to go to Philly 1-1.
Yeah, thanks. So do I get mad at them, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, for beating us in 2009? No, that was a great series. Unfortunately, we did lose. Tonight, I think the Mets have to bounce back. Familia took a loss yesterday, gave up that run yesterday, and that's a punch in the face for these guys. I mean, it's a huge blow to their ego, to their psyche as a team, and they have to bounce back collectively. The confidence, you guys know when you have a closer that you know when the game's over, he comes in the game and he gets beaten, it wears on you a little bit mentally.
Well, we've had 2 decades in this century, and you've been in the losing dugout 2 different decades already.
Well, thanks for the reminder,
What's
Pete.
up with that?
Thank you for the reminder.
Do you ever win?
Yeah, no, I didn't win, Pete, but you did.
Did you win as a little leaguer?
Good for you, Pete. You guys won. Good for you, Pete.
Did you win as a little
I
leaguer?
did. As a little leaguer, I won a lot. Doesn't matter, though.
Frank, straighten him out, will you please?
Pete,
Go ahead.
is there pressure on the Mets tonight, Pete? What are they
I don't
feeling?
think there's pressure on anybody. Go out and catch the ball. They can't play shaggy defense. They're not going to win. Kansas City jumps on an opportunity. I've never seen a team, you make an error behind them, they're going to score 2 or 3 runs. You got to, Alex said it right, you got to catch the ball against Kansas City.
There's always pressure on any team to win their first game in the World Series. But if I look at it going forward, I think the more pressure is on Kansas City. They need to win these 2 games at home because they're going to get a hostile environment when they go to Citi Field in New York. They need to win against Jacob deGrom tonight. If not, if they lose tonight, they got Syndergaard tomorrow and Max on Saturday, who's been very, very good in the second half. So hopefully they come together and do something strange tonight to win this ball game.
How are you 1-0 and you're playing at home in game 2 and the pressure's on you?
Pressure's always on you to win at home.
Why?
Because this is where you should win, at home.
Well, teams do win on the road, Frank, occasionally.
You can win it on the road, but it's easier to win at home.
Did you have more fun playing at home or on the road?
Did you hear this crowd here last night?
Well, I'm not deaf. I mean,
it's easy to play behind that crowd. They're
earplugs
screaming
in.
and going crazy for you.
Yo, they're going to be screaming Friday night, too.
Oh, sure they are.
Somebody clearly tied Pete's bow tie a little too tight today. You're feisty.
No,
You are raring to go.
Frank, come on, Frankie.
Serious note here, guys. Let's switch this. We learned just before first pitch last night that Game 1 starter Edison Volquez's father passed away. Our Ken Rosenthal saying Volquez went back to the Dominican Republic with his family. He will rejoin the team when the series moves to New York for Game 3 on Friday. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Volquez family. Late inning heroics becoming the status quo for Kansas City in October. Coming up, Royals tell you the secret to their success when it matters the most. Game 2 from Kansas City coming up. The Fox World Series pregame show is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
The long-haired, right-handed all-star Jacob deGrom. Swing and a miss, he got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Swing and a miss, make it 13.
I have the chance with my stuff to just dominate baseball for years to come.
This game is all about confidence. We needed a confidence boost, and Jake gave it to us.
It's a good one tonight. It is Jacob deGrom, who's been fantastic. All 3 games he's won, they've all been on the road, so he's used to this. Pitching against Johnny Cueto for the Royals, who has been great here at home and not so great away from home last time he started in Toronto. So that's why he's starting here in game number 2. I thought last night what was fascinating about Matt Harvey's performance was the fact that he didn't use his fastball. He threw 31 fastballs, so that's 39% fastballs, career low for him. Now, granted, he pitched a good ball game using his secondary stuff, but Alex, you know, for a guy like that, that's just not what he normally does. So was he adjusting to the Royals because they're so good at hitting the fastball?
Yeah, that's a great question. 39% fastball for a guy who's usually on 65% fastball. Maybe there's a combination of scouting report, or maybe not just having his best stuff, not having his best fastball. deGrom will be different tonight. He's going to come in throwing gas. He's going to be very good. Is going to be a great match.
So you think he's going to throw hard? Now that's a question, Roy. Was that, if that was a strategy thing, does deGrom do the same, or do you think he's going to come out and throw his game, which is hard?
I think he's going to throw his game. He's going to throw hard. I think he's going to use what he does, what he's done in the past, as well as he will use. This guy will use his off-speed pitches when he's behind in the count. He's a pitcher. He's not just the guy throwing. Right. And he will elevate late in the count as well to put guys away.
deGrom's not going to change anything because these guys are fastball hitters. He's going to pitch his game, and if it's good enough, he'll win. He's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
So why did Harvey do it last night? Why did he change?
Because I think he understood early in the ball game he didn't have that number one like he expected. He never threw 98, 99 mile an hour last night. He pitched the first 3.5 innings before anybody swung and missed.
Yeah, that's true. He only had 2 strikeouts. All right, so you guys think that deGrom's going to do his thing. He's got great secondary stuff with the fastball. How about Cueto, Frank? How do you expect him to respond here?
He needs to come up big tonight. He's got a lot riding on tonight's start. I mean, he's a free agent this offseason. He likes pitching at home. He won't have the road distraction, you know, the Cueto. He'll be at home tonight with a crowd that's loving him. So hopefully he comes out and he's got his mind right. He's really focused and pitches his ball game. Because when he's on his game, he's definitely an ace.
Well, the way the Kansas City Royals have operated the last couple of years, you have to have respect for their top brass. This is the game they got Johnny Cueto for when they signed him. So I expect Johnny Cueto, he knows this is an important game for him. He knows it's an important game for the Royals in the city of Kansas City. He will pitch a good game. I don't know if it's good enough to take care of the Mets, but he will pitch a good game.
You love Cueto, don't you?
I do love Cueto.
Why? Because he's ex-Cincinnati Red, right?
That's absolutely right.
Okay, that's your man.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, at least you told the truth and agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being that's totally fine. The love for Cueto.
No, they're not going to be. They're going to be yelling for him positively tonight.
Here's interesting, though, right? In our first pregame show on FS1, you talked about 94 miles an hour, how Cueto needs to be above that mark. Is that really a difference as a hitter if a guy's throwing 92 as opposed to 96, 4 miles an hour?
Kevin, it doesn't sound like much. 92 to 96 is a world of difference. And Raul, all these guys will tell you, 94 is the magic number. If you see him throwing tonight, 95, 96, he has a chance to be very good. If you're looking up there and it's 91, 92, it could be a very short night for Mr. Cueto.
Oh, he averaged 92.4 his last start, and he got bombarded in Toronto, hoping to go back to his old form here in Kansas City. Johnny Cueto gets the call. Sal Perez doing the catch, and he is always magnificent behind the dish. There you go, getting set for game number 2. And Kansas City turns into comeback city this time of year. So how does KC seem to always come up big in October? The Royals tell you in their own words. Next. We are getting set for game 2. Mets fans in the house here in Kansas City. Oh, there's going to be some fight wars between the Mets and the Royals. Royals have the 1-0 lead after an epic game last night. Hey, look, after years of losing, these fans here in KC, they've seen a winner born right in front of their very eyes. Having been so close to winning it all last year, now the Royals on a mission to take home the hardware that eluded them a year ago.
90 feet, that's all it was. 90 feet to a championship. 90 feet to a champagne celebration. So close, the Kansas City Royals could almost taste it.
Last year at this time, we were so excited to be here. This year, we expected to be here.
Our mindset last year, I really don't think we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
There was a lot of first-timers as far as postseason goes, so I think it went by kind of quickly.
Losing last year definitely left a bitter taste in a lot of guys' mouths.
I went home and I, of course, felt that big empty pit in your stomach.
When I got to spring training, I found out each and every player had that exact same feeling.
From day one, that has been our focus, to get back to the World Series and win it.
Comes the moment they have been waiting for since last October. Back on the big stage, fighting for 14 innings, fighting for a chance at redemption.
When Cueto hit that home run, I was the happiest person in the stadium. Just to keep the game going and then just to have another opportunity to do something positive for the team.
We got to go out there and prove the world wrong and find a way to get it done and win it all.
The Royals win game 1.
Kansas City is comeback city.
That's one thing that you're going to get from this team. No quit at all, and we always feel like we have a chance to be back in the game.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Oh, look, the Royals are resilient. We've seen it enough now in the last 2 years. And it's funny, Pete, we were talking earlier, and you said, here they are. They don't have an MVP candidate. And that got us thinking, Alex, who's the MVP on their own team? That's the fascinating question.
I'm going to go a little unconventional here, Kevin. And Pete, stay with me. I'm not going to pick a player. For me, it always starts at the top. And it starts with Dayton Moore and Ned Yost. They've done a phenomenal job here. They've drafted these guys. They've been patient. They've developed them, and that's why they are in 2 World Series.
Well, to me,
back.
You played with these guys last year. What's your pick?
Yeah, I think the great John Wooden said the team is the best player on the team. This group of guys is the classic case of that, and these are the guys that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, these guys they pull together. They don't care who gets the credit. They don't care who gets the glory. They haven't been contaminated by any of it.
The hardest position to play in baseball is a short guy. Wade Davis is the MVP of this team. I hate to pick a pitcher, but Wade Davis filling in for Holland has done the job.
I think it's a collective unit. This is a definition of a team. I'm going to say the last 2 years, their bullpen. I think their bullpen have shortened so many games, you cannot overlook them. The bullpen is the MVP of this team last 2 years.
I never thought Pete, the hit king, would be picking a pitcher as an MVP.
They got so many good players, Kev. I can't pick one.
They do.
I can't pick one.
They do. And I like that. Quoting John Wooden, but that's it. This chemistry has been real. You know about it. And they have been resilient. 5 comeback wins in this postseason. It has been a huge factor for these Royals. Can they do it again tonight? Game 2, it'll certainly be tougher against these Mets with Jay Jacob deGrom on the mound. There's us in left field. First pitch is getting closer from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. We can't wait. We're back with that and more. These teams getting set for this game number 2 in Kansas City. It's just been a great atmosphere in this whole town here. How about lineups? Okay, so Kansas City going with the same exact lineup that they've had really the entire playoffs. Mets make a little subtle change. Frank, I'm curious though, with the DH, would you have thrown Uribe in there tonight? He's not throwing him in there. Lagares in the field, Conforto to DH. Would you have given thought to playing Juan Uribe here?
I think so. Perfect fit. He's been into the World Series. He's handled all the pressure. He's a spark to any clubhouse, and he's also played a lot in this ballpark against the Kansas City Royals. Maybe he could have provided a little something different tonight at DH for the for the New York Mets.
Yeah. Well, the one thing the Mets did do, though, Lagares, who came in, and you're not expecting necessarily offense from him, gave you that last night. He's a Gold Glover in center field, so he's in the field now tonight.
Yeah, just a huge part of this puzzle for the Mets. I think he plays great baseball. He plays great center field. But not only that, the quality at bat that he gave yesterday, and then he steals the base. I think that we can all agree that power is not going to be the difference maker in this series. It's going to be guys getting on base and guys scoring. He can run, he can steal, he can do a lot of things.
Alex, what player are you focusing on here for tonight?
Yeah, Cespedes has been a little quiet, and I think the Mets need him to check into this World Series and have a signature moment. That will do two things. It will give confidence to the New York Mets, but more importantly, it would force the Kansas City Royals to pitch to Daniel Murphy.
Let's see what team catches the ball tonight. Team that makes the errors will lose this game tonight because both pitchers are really good.
Well, you talked, Pete, about, the resolve of this Met team early. What are the telltale signs if they are effective from losing last
They'll
night?
stay aggressive, no question about that. It's just their makeup. But they have to catch the ball. Alex is absolutely right. If you don't catch the ball, you don't win.
Frank, Jacob deGrom tonight, what's he going to do?
I'm sure he's going to be Jacob deGrom. He's going to deal inside, outside. Great changeup, good curveball. But this is what they need. If they need a must-win, this is the guy they want on the mound right now, Jacob deGrom.
You know, it's interesting. The New York Mets, Sandy Alderson has done an incredible job building this team, and it's constructed like an American League team. The Royals, on the other hand, they're constructed like a National League team. So let's see what happens.
You love that. All right, we are getting closer to first pitch. Just behind us over there, which is going to be some game number 2 with deGrom and Cueto. Royals and the Mets here with Kansas City up 1-0 after that wild game last night. 5 hours and 9 minutes last night. Yeah, that was a long one. Maybe we go a little shorter.
3.5, Kevin, 3.5.
That would be fine. Okay. That would be fine. But the crowd is ready to go. Our guys are ready to go. Calling tonight's game, as always, Joe Buck, Harold Reynolds, and Tom Verducci. Guys, take it away.
Kevin, guys, thank you very much. It's more of a crisp night here toward the end of October as we get ready for Game 2 of this 2015 World Series with the Kansas City Royals up 1-0. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Harold Reynolds and Tom Verducci are both coming right up. Well, the guys just talked about it. Last night was nuts. I mean, just crazy. Game 1 of the World Series was the longest Game 1 ever played in the 111 World Series that we've seen. Well, we haven't seen all of them, but, you get my drift. As we look back to last night, we saw an inside-the-park home run that started the night. We saw tremendous relief pitching. And we saw a Kansas City Royals team do last night what they've done really the entire postseason. They just don't quit. We'll have more on that in a second, but I start over here to my right, and I want to talk to you about the Mets and about the guy going tonight, Jacob deGrom, the perfect man on the mound for New York.
Well, he really is. I mean, last year's Rookie of the Year, he came on, just took over like gangbusters and deserved the Rookie of the Year. But when you think about Jacob deGrom, what do you think about?
Hair.
No doubt. I mean, that's the first thing you see.
So jealous.
Is the hair
Just
of
makes
Jacob
me
deGrom.
crazy.
But look, you get rid of the hair. The guy's electric. The fastball, the changeup, the curve. He does it all. And how about in the All-Star game? We had him there, 10 pitches, 3 strikeouts. He was amazing. The postseason, he's 3-0, 27 Ks. But what I want you to look at, He's beat Kershaw, and he's beat Greinke. He's beat some good pitchers, and tonight they're looking for the performance from the man with the hair.
Man with the hair, Jacob deGrom.
All right.
Many hard-throwing right-handers, and hey, my friend, for Kansas City, I mean, you just don't know where it's coming from, do you?
It's amazing. Watching the Royals play, to me, it's like the world's biggest game of whack-a-mole. You think you have one, and another one pops up and gets you. It's almost like they take turns beating you, especially late in games, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. They take turns. Well, go back to the division series. Game number 2, it was your number 2 hitter, Ben Zobrist, with the tie-breaking hit. Well, fast forward, ALCS Game 2, that's your number 6 hitter, Mike Moustakas, with a game-tying hit. Later in that series, in Game 6, your cleanup hitter, Eric Hosmer, says, I'll take care of this one. And that's Lorenzo Cain, your 3 hitter, has been on base every game of the postseason. And last night, number 8 hitter, Alex Gordon, with a huge game-tying home run. Normally, you look at an opposing team and you say, don't let one guy beat you. With the Royals, you have to circle every name on the lineup. Anybody can beat you.
So the question is, what's on tap here tonight? Because last night, a crazy start to this World Series. Only one game in, and history has already been made. Here comes Escobar. Never tiring, relentless in spirit.
This is about as evenly matched a World Series in year.
So, what happens next? It's the World Series Game 2 on Fox.
In Game 1 of the World Series, Lorenzo Cain stole a base for Kansas City and breakfast for all of America. So run into Taco Bell on Thursday, November 5th from 7 to 11 a.m. to score your free AM Crunch Wrap. Way to go, Lorenzo.
Have you ever stopped to think about the beauty of the moments in between?
Now let's go. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Taco Bell. Steal a base, steal a breakfast. Liv Moss. What kind of a night is it? 53. It's supposed to drop as we go. It's windy. And the effervescent Johnny Cueto leaps over the foul line, and off he goes. Dreads and all. Who are we going to see? That's what the Royals want to know. Is it going to be the brilliant starter from Game 5 of the division series against Houston? Or is it going to be the Cueto we saw last time out? Game 3 of the ALCS in Toronto when he got lit. He gave up 8. And in that game, an 11-8 loss as it turned out, but the score makes it sound a little closer than it actually was. Here are the numbers this postseason for Johnny Cueto. We showed you the win. We showed you the loss. The ERA is big. He's a rental. He's a hired gun. Royals paid a big price to get him, to bring him here from the Cincinnati Reds. And the question is, will he shoot blanks tonight, or will he do his job and pitch well against this lineup? Granderson, David Wright, Daniel Murphy, the top 3 in the middle. Cespedes, Duda, d'Arnaud. And on the back end of that lineup, it's Conforto, the DH. Flores and Lagares gets the start, batting 9th, playing center. And his at-bat, his first at-bat last night, according to Terry Collins, his manager, earned him the start here in Game 2.
And Joe, if you're looking for early clues on Cueto, check the velocity. If it's 91, 92, he's in trouble. Should be up 93, 94. The other telltale sign, time between pitches. If he's off the back of the mound, that means he's not feeling good about his stuff.
Granderson, strike 1. That baseball taken out of play. Granderson last night 1 for 5, went deep. Rolls one to the right side. Race to the bag. Cueto wins it. 1 out. Hosmer feeds Cueto with David Wright coming up. Look at the defense. You do it, Harold. You played defense in the big league. Go.
Yeah, you know what I like about their defense? Hey, last night we saw the error from Hosmer. The only 2 errors this postseason from this club. They catch it, and everywhere across the board, you could contend that they've all, at some time in their career, battled for a Gold Glove. They're that good.
Good job.
Thanks, sir.
David Wright now had 2 hits last night in 7 at-bats. In that 5-hour, 9-minute, 14-inning affair won by Kansas City. Strike 1.
You can.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, you can already see the adjustment Cueto's making when you look at Perez, how he's setting up. Look how he's getting down.
That's up the middle. Great positioning. Zobrist long throw. 2 out.
Look at him, how low he's getting, and the problem's been great placement position, as you said, but the problem that Cueto had earlier in the summer was that Perez is so big, but he wants the ball down low. After having Pena catch him all those time in Cincinnati with the low frame getting down low, he's leaving balls up. Tonight, over-exaggerated, get the leg out, get way down. He did a nice job of Granderson, and a nice job right there.
Now it's Daniel Murphy. Ball 1 inside. I showed you the graphic. I'll say it so you can hear it. For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. Murphy last night, another 2-hit game. That's a strike.
And that was the first quick pitch of the night. He will vary his mechanics and delivery. If you haven't seen Johnny Cueto pitch, he'll spin around, he'll freeze, he'll pause, and sometimes he'll just take a short stride and come right at you.
Murphy's shocked to hear that strike 2.
We talk about how Kansas City wants to make him uncomfortable by working the inside part of the plate. The 2-seamer comes back and gets the corner.
Quick delivery, bounces in.
Yeah, those orchestrations, the quick deliveries, the shimmy shakes, the delays, shouldn't bother the Mets lineup that much. Really, Lucas Duda is the only one with a major timing mechanism, high leg kick. Most of these Mets hitters get set very early.
I think sometimes it bothers Cueto more than it does the hitter.
You know, I just think he's very unique. For a guy to be able to throw strikes and do that, you just don't see it. I love the creativity. I think our game can be boring at times, so I love seeing this. But I think he's very, to throw strikes, I don't know how he's able to do it. Let's just put it that way. I think it's pretty fascinating.
His teammate Edinson Volquez tried it and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. No. Got him looking, and Murphy. He can't figure out what to say. He wants to complain. He strikes out, and down go the Mets. 1-2-3. To the mound is Jacob deGrom. Half inning in the books in game 2, no score. He is the reigning Rookie of the Year. 27-year-old right-hander Jacob deGrom will face these 3 to start it. Escobar, Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain. In the middle, same look. Hosmer, Morales, Moustakas. And on the back end, 7, 8, and 9, Perez, Gordon, and Rios. We saw good velocity last night from Matt Harvey. We should see terrific velocity tonight from deGrom. First pitch swinging into right. He does it every night, and he's now 6 for 12 Escobar leading off the ball game.
And there's a science to it. When I talked to him about it, and what he's doing, he's looking for a fastball. And if you're going to throw a fastball in the zone, he's looking, he's swinging. He said, I'm not going to swing at a slider or a curveball unless it's somewhere I'm looking at, but I'm attacking a fastball. And he is.
There are the numbers this postseason for DeGrom. 96 from the right-hander.
Yeah, his velocity has actually played up a little bit in the postseason. The issue have been first inning fastball command issues.
Two quick ones on Zobrist. Like a lot of great pitchers, you have to get after. There's 98. DeGrom early. He's had some trouble in the first inning, then he settles in. The 1-2, 2-2.
Jacob DeGrom is so good that if he was on a lot of other staffs, I'll say exclusion of maybe Kershaw, you're talking about this guy as your featured guy on your rotation. But because Harvey has been the guy that struck into New York so big.
This is off the end of the bat. Easy for Granderson. 2 out. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
With the publicity that Harvey got when he burst on the scene, and rightfully earned by him, he's the guy you think about as the ace of this staff. But I tell you what, Jacob DeGrom's stuff is so good that he would carry most staffs in the big leagues and be your featured guy on 29 or 30 teams in the big leagues.
That is up and in on Lorenzo Cain as he gets a whiff of that. Ball 1.
This is the matchup I've most wanted to see, because DeGrom to me may not throw the hardest, Syndergaard does, but has the most life on his four-seamer. We all know this Royals team is the best in baseball at upper 90s velocity, turning it around. But this guy, with his long stride and long release point, can pitch both sides of the plate and up with the fastball.
Well, Granderson to his right ties the record. And we go into the second here in the second game of this 2015 World Series. Easy doing for Jacob DeGrom after 1-0 score. Each side went in order in the first inning, and now in the second, it's Cespedes, Duda, and d'Arnaud against Cueto. 2 groundouts and a strikeout for Johnny Cueto, strike 1. Yoenis is the player Alex Rodriguez talked about in our pregame show, saying he's been quiet for a while. He fouls it back now in the hole. 0-2. 1 for 6 last night. 10 hits this postseason. 2 have left the park.
You know, that's the beauty of our sport. You can neutralize one player. Basketball, you can't take the ball from LeBron or Jordan. You can do that in baseball.
Here's the 0-2.
Think about all the struggles that Barry Bonds had early on. Until you get guys around you and they force them to have to give you something to hit, you may struggle for a bit if you're that guy.
Home plate umpire tonight is Mark Carlson. Down the line to his right is Mike Winters at first. Jim Wolf at second. Alfonso Marquez is at third. Out in left, it's Gary Cederstrom. He's the crew chief. And Bill Welke had the plate last night. He's in right tonight.
And some really good early signs from Cueto. You're seeing the 93 with the two-seamer, the comeback he got Murphy on, and that one right there ran in on Cespedes. And also working quickly between pitches.
Does not get the corner. 2-2.
He looks sharp, Tom. Look at the movement you're talking about, and the ball's down. That's a pitch you got in the first inning. You go back until the umpire says no.
Another Mets understand with Cueto, about 70% of his pitchers are going to be in a very small window between 88 and 93. Does have the changeup, but their approach is wait for the ball in the middle of the plate. Different here with 2 strikes, obviously, but gear up for a very similar speed most of the time for Cueto.
It's a tough task waiting for a ball in the middle in the big leagues.
He does make mistakes, though, Johnny Cueto. You just can't miss him.
2-2 on a soft line to Escobar. 1 out. So Cueto has retired the first 4, and Lucas Duda will step in. And this is the guy, Tom, you think could be affected by the different deliveries that Cueto can throw at a hitter.
Yeah, I think Johnny will throw everything at Lucas Duda because of that high leg kick.
This one is to the left of Moustakas. He has no play. And hit it into a void in the shift, and Moustakas able to stop it, but it's the first hit of the night.
He's already driving the Royals crazy with their defense. You know, the Royals aren't a team that really shifts a lot, and they've totally taken them out. Now, the other day, he chased Moustakas out of the left side of the infield, the right side, I should say. Now he picks on him on the left side. They may have to just straighten it up a little bit more on this guy.
So 1-on-1 out. Darno is the hitter. Had a hit for an RBI last night. Strike 1. Took 5 games for the Mets to get past the Dodgers. 4 games in a dominant NLCS against the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So funny, I was talking to Travis around the cage, and I said, hey, how you feeling after catching all those innings last night? He goes, oh, I feel good. I'm ready to go.
Hard hit to third. Moustakas out over to first. Got him back. Bottom of the second in game 2, no score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier. Official caps, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Get all your Mets and Royals World Series gear and celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. City of fountains, city of barbecue. The city of game 2 of this World Series, and after 3 fly balls out to right for a quick and easy first inning, DeGrom deals with Hosmer. Missed outside, now the 1-0. Strike 1. Hosmer just 1 for 22 this postseason with nobody on base.
Great pitch right there. Hosmer talked about he loves to get those long arms extended. Need to pitch him in. Not comfortable with the ball in, especially with DeGrom's velocity. It's a great place for Jacob DeGrom to live against Eric Hosmer.
Trying to get something started here in the second. On the outside corner, struck him out. And the first strikeout for DeGrom.
When you can drop that slider right there on the outside half after throwing that fastball that he threw, you're on. It's going to be a tough night. So now he's opening up both sides of the plate and being able to really take away what you're thinking about attacking him with, giving him one side of the plate or the other.
Strikeouts have piled up this postseason. First 3 postseason starts for DeGrom. He struck out 27. That's his 28th of the postseason right there. Here's Morales, ball 1. That's the 5th highest total behind names like Gibson and Koufax. Here's a 1-0. Ball and a strike. Jacob, last year's rookie of the year, went 9-6, ERA 2.69. Pitched in this year's All-Star game And he has retired the first 5. Here comes Mike Moustakas.
Always loved baseball when I was a kid and loved going out there and play with my dad. And I always wanted to, make baseball my job. You know, when you get to the big leagues, your overall dream is to play in the World Series and win a World Series.
He got to play in it last year. Came up a game short against the Giants. Here he is back. Serenaded here at home with 2 out, nobody on. Strike 1.
You want to know how sharp Jacob deGrom is? He's got 4 flyouts to opposite field and a strikeout and a check swing when you know you're swinging at the first pitch on Moustakas. This stuff is pretty good.
Here's the 0-1. Good tight breaking ball, strike 2.
Yeah, we're 6 batters into this game, and he has thrown all of his pitches for strikes. The change, the curveball, the slider, 2-seamer, 4-seamer, on point.
Moustakas, the number 2 overall pick back in 2007, his teammate. And the guy who hits 2 spots in front of him, Eric Hosmer, the number 3 overall pick in 08. They've grown together. Certainly matured together here in the big leagues. Moustakas was sent out last year while he was struggling back to the minors. Had his best offensive season this year. And when you're that big, 6'4", 180, you can make a play like that. And so far, no sparks. We go to the 3rd inning here in game 2. No score. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Prior to tonight's game, Sharon Robinson and the 9th grade 2015 Breaking Barriers Essay Contest Grand Prize winner, Kayla Savory, were honored on the field, proudly supported by Church and Dwight Company Arts Sigalos. Breaking Barriers provides opportunities for students in grades 4 through 9 to submit an essay about how they overcome barriers or obstacles they've faced or are still facing in their lives using the values exemplified by Jackie Robinson. To learn more, visit MLBcommunity.org. That is ball 2-0. You saw Sharon Robinson in that short video, the daughter of the great Jackie and the great Rachel Robinson.
There she is right there. Continue to keep her father's legacy alive with breaking barriers and 8 points of Jackie. It's been great.
There's a 2-0. That's a strike to the rookie Conforto.
The string on him.
Conforto and then Flores, then Lagares. Conforto started the season in high A ball. Called up from Double A at the end of July on the 24th. Here he is in the World Series. That's ball 3.
Think about that, Joe. Opening day this year in St. Lucie, Florida, he played in front of 2,400 fans. And now here he is, World Series.
At 279 big league home runs. Has won this postseason. He got Greinke in the division series. 3-1. Quick pitch. Fouled back. Full count.
You know, he's one of 3 players to have played the Little League World Series, the College World Series when he's at Oregon State University, playing for my good friend Pat Casey. And then now he's here in the Big League World Series. So pretty impressive.
So is this crowd, as they have been all of October. Good rip by Conforto.
Here's a good look at young Michael on the left, a little older on the right. The Beavs at Oregon State.
It's Redmond, Washington. His team made it to the Little League World Series in 2004. A picture on the left. What's he got on 3-2? Another foul.
You know, I know, Tom, you said earlier that the Mets, and I listened to you talking with Kevin Long about they don't think he'll disrupt them with all the different things. But Johnny Cueto reminds me of Gaylord Perry. Gaylord may not throw a spitter, but it was in your head as a hitter. So you don't know what delivery this guy's coming with. So you're thinking more, is he going to quick pitch me? Is he going to spin around? Instead of, is he going to throw me a fastball, a slider, or a change? It's effective for him.
Struck him out, one away.
Well, this is not the Little League World Series or the College World Series. You get to a full count. Here comes the changeup, and a nasty one. Look at the run on that pitch. Top hand comes off the bat. Great arm speed. Whenever you see the hitter out front when the top hand comes off the bat, he has been fooled by the timing and the speed of the arm.
Well, I like the swings that Wilmer Flores had last night. Middle infielder who hit 16 home runs during the regular season. Lost his job to Ruben Tejada as Terry Collins went with the stronger defensive player. Tejada hurt in the division series in the slide by Utley, and now it's Flores who takes strike one.
Yeah, I think Wilmer Flores is going to be he's a steal for the Mets. They almost gave him away in that trade. We talked about it a lot. Everybody's yelling, the catcher, the pitcher, and the hitter. But I think he's going to be a great big league player. You just don't have shortstops with this kind of power, and he's growing into his defense.
Cueto makes the stop. 2 out.
You know, Joe, one of the things I've seen about Cueto working quicker, they've simplified the signs from going back to the ALCS. They were so worried about the Jays stealing signs. You saw multiple signs with nobody on base, and then Perez setting the target late. And Cueto decided, you know what, I'm going to give you signs from the mound. Well, that was such a bad idea because the Jays saw that from the dugout. Here, I'm going to throw a fastball in. They relay the pitch to the hitter, fastball in, base hit. Terrible idea to go to that because they were so confused about the complicated sign system.
Here's Lagares off the end of the bat. Kane has to come get it. He's there. And that sends us into the bottom of the third. Cueto looks like a different guy. He looks like the division series starter against the Astros in Game 5. Dialed in, no score. Bottom 3 in the order for Kansas City. Bottom of the third, no score. Salvador Perez takes a strike. Had a chance to visit with Ned Yost during the break, manager of the Royals. That's inside. We'll give you that after Perez does something to start the third. As we make our way through this one, realize that Salvador Perez is catching his 313th game over the last 2 years. That's the most ever in a 2-year span. And he is 25 going on 45 with the number of foul tips he takes. He is as tough as they come.
And last year, after the season ended, where he caught a record number of games, he traveled with team basically USA. I want to say USA, but it's a big league team that goes to Japan.
Here's one into left center field. Going to grab it for out number 1 is the very nonchalant Yoenis Cespedes.
In the All-Star Series with the MLB against Japan. He went and played over there right after the season after catching every day. Crazy, huh?
Crazy. The end of a long game. You want to hear from Ned Yost?
Yeah, let's hear it.
First question was about his starter, Johnny Cueto, who looks good here tonight.
They both do. DeGrom looks great too, but Johnny's right on top of his game, changing speeds, down in the zone, commanding pitches, working the corners really, really nicely.
Yeah, and as an ex-catcher yourself, talk us through what Salvador Perez is doing behind the plate. He is getting down low and giving a low target for Johnny Cueto tonight.
Right. That's what Johnny prefers. When Sal first came over here, Johnny had a little trouble adjusting to Sal because Sal's such a big guy. And we talked about it after after a second or third start, and Sal's made a very concerted effort to give Johnny an extremely low target, and he can hit that target.
Yeah, and finally, you mentioned it, but what are your guys saying coming back after facing DeGrom?
Well, you know, we're putting some barrels on the ball. We just can't find any holes. We hit a couple balls hard the first inning, and you know, they're battlers. They're determined to get them, but his stuff is really, really good.
Yeah, I would say your guys have proven that. Thanks, Ned.
Thank you.
5th full season as manager of the Royals for Ned Yost as he delivered the first division title here in Kansas City since 1985, as the count has gone to 3-1 on Alex Gordon. Royals looking for their first base runner. Full count. But that little note for the man who went deep last night with 1 out in the 9th inning to tie the game at 4. 3-2. A 1-out walk.
You know, Tom, you made a point when we were covering the Royals in the league championship series. You don't know where they're at in the lineup, because these guys are so interchangeable. I thought it was such a great point, because they really are.
I had to ask Alex Rios today, how do you like hitting ninth? This guy's not used to hitting ninth. He's hit in the middle of a lot of different orders in the course of his career. And he said, you know what? It is strange, but just look at our lineup. I get it. Everybody is where they belong. But you look at this lineup and you can't tell top from bottom from middle.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Rios. 1 on, 1 out. Good pitch from DeGrom. That's strike 2. Rios has had years where he's hit 24 home runs, 21 home runs, 25 home runs. Battled through injury and illness this year, so the numbers aren't there. But he is an upgrade for the Royals over a year ago. The 0-2. Got him looking on the inside corner, 2 down.
Boy, that just buckled him. Saw it, but couldn't react to it. This ball stays right on the corner. You know, when you hear somebody talk about, oh, he painted that one, what happens is that's almost like a backup slider on you. You're expecting that ball to break back out, and it doesn't, and it just freezes you as a hitter.
Really impressed by d'Arnaud framing this pitch, turning the hand inward to the strike zone.
Travis flashes the signs, and time taken by d'Arnaud. Back to the top of the order in Escobar.
I was going to say, did he look up and see who was up and say, no fastball here?
Strike 1.
The slider.
He's done an excellent job so far, adding and subtracting off of his secondary pitches. The changeup, the slider, and the curveball.
.96 from DeGrom. He can rush it up there and make it look easy doing it.
I'm telling you. And that's the pitch he loves to throw with 2 strikes. Hitter's hitting 122 against his 2-strike fastballs, and that's where he likes to go. A lot more life when he gets it above the hands. There it is.
Here's the other advantage of having a guy like Alex Gordon on first with your leadoff guy leading up now with 2 outs. He may steal here and get thrown out. It's okay. You got Escobar leading off with a whole clean count next half inning. If he makes it or he hits the ball on the run, you got a chance to make some things happen.
d'Arnaud's had a tough time throwing out base stealers. He was leaning, took 2 steps, and got back.
He was going, and I like it. It's a smart baseball play. You got Escobar in a little bit of a hole. DeGrom's dominating. Hey, take the bag. If you make it, great. If you get thrown out, we'll start the next half inning.
1-2. Broken bat. Flores the easy way, and that sends us scoreless into the fourth. And who's coming up? The top of the order, including the new home run hitter for the Mets, their second baseman, Daniel Murphy, no score. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Fitbit. Find your fit. By Verizon. Better matters. And by Walmart. Walmart proudly supports our veterans. Visit greenlightavet.com to learn more. Beautiful night here on the 28th of October. Halloween just around the corner. Tomorrow a travel day. Friday, game 3 at Citi Field. Giordano Ventura against Noah Syndergaard. Look at that. Numbers for Cueto as he quick pitches Granderson, strike 1. Going back to that division series game 5, you saw that note. He's retired 27 of the last 28 batters he's faced here at home.
That was the driving force for Ned Yost designing the rotation for this series. Get Cueto in this park twice.
Well, what it does, this ballpark, with it being so hard to hit home runs, it allows a pitcher to be aggressive, who at times gets tentative, knowing that a ball hit hard is really going to have to be crushed to get out of here.
That's ball 3.
Yeah, I asked Johnny, what do you like about this place? Thinking maybe the mound, the crowd. He said one word: dimensions.
3-1 pitch. Good pitch over the inside corner, full count.
Well, you think where he came from. It was Cincinnati's a man box. To have to learn how to pitch in that ballpark and come here.
And you see Granderson trying to slow him down. I love the simple signs. Let him get in a groove.
A leadoff walk to Granderson. David Wright played in only 38 games in the regular season this year. Spinal stenosis, Ken Rosenthal. That's what he's dealing with.
That is, Joe. And after playing 14 innings last night, I asked him how he felt this morning. He said a little stiffer than usual, but nothing crazy. Now, the key to managing his condition is maintaining hip flexibility. His back gets aggravated by rotation, extension, normal baseball movements. The more mobility that Wright has in his hips, the less strain on his back.
We've seen him, even last night, with that bad back, have difficulty throwing the ball with a lot on it. He made that error in that fateful 14th that started that final rally.
Yeah, remember, this is a guy who needs hours of maintenance to get himself ready for a game. And that's 5 hours after first pitch.
Here's a 1-0 now. That's ball 2. 2-0 on Wright. And now Cueto is the one to slow down.
Got to regroup. Trying to get him a ground ball, double play ball is what he's looking for right here.
That's ball 3. That's strike 1.
The respect of David Wright, because he can still put a charge in a ball, makes you have to really be careful with your pitches when you're down the zone with him.
He's the Mets captain. Mets need something to support Jacob deGrom and trying now to take advantage of a leadoff walk. Off the hands, popped up. 1 out. Here comes Daniel Murphy.
And he's a different hitter this year under hitting coach Kevin Long. Really started in spring training, made some really key adjustments. This is on the left last year, on the right, of course, this postseason. Look at the setup, much more bend in the knee. The hands are lower, and he's much closer to home plate. How does that work in the swing? Well, the big key is getting his foot down earlier. You'll see after this with Murphy, last year, was get that foot down as the ball was headed towards home plate. Now look how early the foot gets down. He's ready to hit right now, as opposed to last year, he still hasn't moved. Getting the front foot down, and then look at the finish. Much more torque getting the lower half.
And he almost got hit.
That was the pitch I've been waiting for. Make him uncomfortable. That was the goal of Kansas City's pitchers, because he's turned the batter's box into a Murphy bed. Much too comfortable in the postseason.
Sometimes there's balls that you have no idea how it missed you. Called a little invisible. I mean, that ball looked like it went right through him.
Well, the Dodgers didn't make Murphy uncomfortable. The Cubs certainly did not. 7 home runs this postseason. The free agent to be, after a career high 14 throughout the regular season, he's hit 7 so far this postseason.
And you saw him just spit on that changeup set up by the inside fastball. He wanted no part of that changeup at all.
So you tell that guy his sign's upside down. 2-0 pitch is foul, 2-1.
That's the difference of Murphy right there for me. Okay. That ball's a ball. Yes, sir. He's asking if that ball's inside. That's a ball he would flip to the other way. Inside out, flip it the other way. The difference is now he will turn on that pitch. And anytime you get to a point in your career where you start to be able to turn on an inside pitch, your power numbers are going to go up.
He's a former first baseman. He's made a transition to second base, which is remarkable. He waits for a 2-1. Are you buying it, Tom? Is this who Daniel Murphy is now as he goes into free agency?
You know, I am, because he's always been gifted with incredible hand-eye coordination. His contact rate is off the charts. And what Kevin Long got him to do now is think about not just hitting pitches, but doing damage with pitches.
Count in his favor, and he takes a walk. 2 walks in the inning. Cueto did not get the pitch, and it's 2 on 1 out with Cespedes coming up.
See, the zone has changed. First at bat, remember he was getting those pitches against Murphy. Murphy complained on a ball down low, struck him out on a ball up high he complained on. So now Johnny Cueto's saying, hold on, where is it? And that's all you ask, because that's how you game plan throughout the game. What are you calling? Where's it going to be? And you've seen a lot of guys asking. Even now, Cespedes is talking to the ump.
As he digs in with 2 on and 1 out. Big chance here for the Mets. Brought over from Detroit. In season, took off, changed the look of this lineup. The whole thing wheels off his presence in the middle. Waits for a 1-0. 2-0.
You see what power does to a pitcher? It forces you to try to nibble. Granderson, power. Murphy, power. So you start to nibble a little bit. Cespedes clearly. You got a guy that's just a little guy that punches the ball around. You go right after him.
And give credit to the Mets. They've stuck to the game plan. Not taking the bait, trying to force him into the middle of the plate.
Big swing on 2-0. But this is one of those stretches here for Cueto where he's got to get it back together, and if you're the Mets, you got to get after him. He's walking behind the mound. He's frustrated with the strike zone. He's out of sorts. You see Ned Yost, who's just staring out at him, wondering what he's going to give him here in this big 4th inning. But he is out of whack, and he is frustrated out on the mound. It's Dave Eiland, the pitching coach.
But I'm with you. The Mets have to come through. He's going to have to come to you. You've got everything working on your side right now. Pitcher struggling and up with a tight zone.
3-1 pitch to third. The step, the throw is pulling Hosmer off the bag. And instead of an inning-ending double play, it continues on the wide throw by Moustakas. And they're going to check and make sure that this isn't one they want to challenge. Hosmer didn't argue at all.
It's pretty interesting because a lot of times you go back for the touch. You see him go back. From that angle, it's hard to tell. Ooh, no.
No, he's safe. That's a good call on the first base umpire, Mike Winters, who was a crew chief on his own crew during the regular season, was right there staring at it. No review. And now Lucas Duda will be the hitter, 2 on, 2 out.
You may not get that play midsummer, but because it's the postseason and Cespedes is busting down the line and you know it, you got to hurry. Oh no, Joe. A lot of times you go back for that second touch.
That might be worth a challenge. Remember, you get a second challenge, 2 challenges in postseason play.
Well, I just think that's the angle. We've seen the other angles. His foot's off the bag. That's from the front. Duda takes a strike.
We've had some tricky angles in this ballpark already. Remember Moustakas' home run before.
I just think take a shot, though. You still have another one if you lose the challenge. It's such a high leverage spot right here.
2 on, 2 out. Duda fights it and dumps it into left. Here comes Murphy in the 4th inning of game 2.
Back to that replay, Tom. I think what happens is they don't get to see that last angle that we saw quick enough where they may have challenged.
Well, guys, the last angle is from the front. Every other angle from behind shows that his foot's off the bag. His foot's off the bag. The umpire's 5 feet from it. I mean, this one is from the front. I mean, still, you can see his foot's coming off the bag. No challenge, and the Mets lead 1-0 here in the 4th inning.
And the guy who's really doing the damage is Lucas Duda. You know, flipping balls the other way. Yes.
2 for 2. Hasn't hit the ball hard yet.
There you go. Darno flies one into right. And the inning is over. The Royals could not turn a double play, and it's Duda who's 2 for 2. And his single puts the Mets on top in the 4th. Bottom of the 4th inning, Royals batting down 1-0. First pitch to Zobrist is in for a strike. Alex Rodriguez is going to join us this inning from out on the pregame set in left field, above some of the many fountains here at Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals since 1973. Zobrist takes outside. Alex, you faced Jacob deGrom. What did you see when you were standing in the batter's box against this 6'4", 180-pound right-hander?
Yeah, I faced him, Joe, and it wasn't a lot of fun. But, you know, anytime you face a great pitcher, you try to formulate a game plan. And you try to put this pitcher in a very small box. The smaller the box, the better. That increases your chances to do well. But I always try to break down pitchers north, south, or east and west, one or the other. The problem with Jacob is he's both, and that's a problem for the hitter. You know, he has 4+ pitches. He adds and subtracts very well. He's a former shortstop, so he feels his position well. And he keeps runners on well. So the synopsis of all of that, pack your lunch, is going to be a handful.
3 balls and a strike on Zobrist, trying to get on with his team down by 1. That's a strike over the inside corner, full count.
So Alex, you're talking about north, south, east, and west. How do you shrink that down and really look for what you're looking for? What's that mean?
Well, you know, we had some success against them at the stadium. You know, our team hits very well at the stadium.
Here's a race to the back. Duda can't make the play, and he flashed right in front of Murphy. Leadoff man is on.
You know, Joe, with the shift that we've incorporated in baseball now, you get a lot of first basemen that are aggressive and lose exactly where they're at. This is a ground ball with Murphy. So before the pitch, you got to know exactly where a guy's playing. Because this is, even if he catches it, you've taken a routine ground ball and made it difficult to hit a pitcher on a run. You see that a lot, not just with Duda, but I mean in the game that we play now in baseball. Alex, you recognize that too?
I do. It's very confusing, and I'll tell you, coming up from Little League, you're not used to having 3 infielders in one side of the diamond, and it makes it challenging. It takes a lot of hits, but it also gives you some.
Here's Kane, takes a strike, and now he looks back at Mark Carlson. Lorenzo Kane fly to right his first time. DeGrom trying to pitch around an error, strike 2. Stole a base yesterday in game 1, and with that, because he stole it, all of America can steal a free AM Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell on November 5th from 7 to 11 a.m. Thanks to Taco Bell. That's a week from tomorrow. Here comes an 0-2 pitch. DeGrom has struck out 2. Still 0-2.
Yeah, Alex was talking about north-south, and you see DeGrom working Kane in the northern quadrant. The four-seam fastball up.
You know, Tom, it would make it so much easier for a hitter if they can just keep it in the bottom quadrant or in the north quadrant. One of the best I ever faced was Curt Schilling. He lived in all 4 of them, and it made it very tough to hit. Just look at my numbers.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That is foul. You know, it's worth talking to you, Alex, about this Royals team. We came on the air talking about you don't know where it's going to come from. This is a lineup that is relentless. It's balanced. It's good 1 through 9. It's a fun team to watch.
You know, playing defense, whether you're a shortstop or a third baseman, it is a very stressful proposition because they're going to put the ball in play. They don't strike out, and all these guys run well to first, 1 through 9.
Here's an 0-2 again. Ball 1. By the way, it's starting to rain. But there is no heavy rain in the forecast from what I'm being told. Just light drizzle.
Joe, one thing that I noticed with facing DeGrom this year is all these guys are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", unlike Cueto. So when you see 95 miles an hour, it plays up to 100.
A 1-2.
Like that.
So what is his best pitch, Alex?
He has 4+ pitches, and he pitches backwards. So he's not a predictable pitcher. So just because you fight really hard to get to 2-0 or 3-1 is not guaranteed you're going to get a fastball. And you get a lot of defensive swings on hitters' counts.
An error started the inning, and now a 1-2 pitch to Kane. Broken bat, and that is caught by Duda. Can't turn it into a double play, 1 out.
Well, Alex talked about the height. It's interesting that DeGrom about 5 or 6 inches taller than Cueto, but look at the release height. It's the same. Now, why is that? Look at the stride of DeGrom. And you also see, pay attention to this, where the ball is coming out of his hand. That's forward from his head. With Cueto, it's about even with his head. What does that mean? Jacob DeGrom is reducing the distance between release of the ball and home plate. he's buying time from the hitter. His stride is almost a foot longer than Johnny Cueto's with that low release and the long extension.
Here's one into center off the bat of Hosmer, and can't make the catch. Lagares got a glove on it. It's a base hit, 2 on, 1 out.
Well, that's that tweener right there. Don't know if it's going to die and you got to dive, or you're trying to scoop and get underneath it. This ball looked like it was going to short hop him. It just died at the last second. Do I dive right here, or can I still get it on the run?
It's interesting. Lagares is a guy who really doesn't leave his feet that often. Kind of reminds me of Devon White, the old Angels Blue Jays outfielder. So good at running balls down. Makes a lot of great catches on his feet.
Well, now it's Kendrys Morales. By the way, that StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. We showed you with a release point. Morales 0 for 1. He likes fastballs. That is a fair ball. 2 out, and the runners advance to second and third.
I think that's a big out right there. You're right, Joe. See him come back with the slider on Morales. They haven't quite got him going yet.
Harold, one of the impressive things about facing DeGrom this year in Yankee Stadium, all these pitchers, they have great stuff, but once they get on the mound, they're not worried about mechanics or what the fans are doing or balls and strikes. They want to go compete, and they just want to kick your butt. And you feel it when you're at the plate, and that's impressive for a young group.
Here is Moustakas 0 for 1. Hit one back to DeGrom, his first time up. Could not turn the double play in the top of this inning that led to a run because of a wide throw. And now if he can get a base hit, the Royals will have their first lead of the night.
Well, Alex, we saw the StatCast breakdown. Give us the hitter's view of that late life from DeGrom.
Yeah, you know, Tom, it makes it even more complicated when he's from the stretch, because he's also quick to the plate. Being a former shortstop, he has really good feet, and he's very athletic and competitive. And sometimes you want to have a guy from the windup is a lot more comfortable at bat, is more predictable, and you can get your leg kick and timing in place. From the stretch, he's got a lot more control, and he can disrupt your timing.
On deck is the right-handed hitting Perez. First base open. The count 2-0 on Moustakas. And an RBI last night. 3-0.
You know, again, he's got an open base at first. He got a right-handed hitter on deck circle. And pitchers, whether you believe it or not, they look to the next hitter for ways to get out of a jam.
Will Moustakas get anything to hit? Nope. Bases loaded.
And you see the confidence of DeGrom. He walked in, first thing he did was throw his glove up and say, all right, give me the ball back. Now I got the guy at the plate, I want to get out. Now, does he get him out? But this is his choice of who he wanted to go after.
And Perez has been swinging first pitch the entire postseason. Actually surprised he took a first pitch fastball his first time up against DeGrom.
Here comes Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, out to talk after Darno started to head back to the plate.
Here's what I'm talking about. Watch DeGrom. This is ball 4. Okay, no problem. Give me the ball. I'm ready to go. That, Alex was talking about body language from a pitcher. You notice that as a hitter. You notice that, Al?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Harold?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. These guys are competitive. They want to compete. They want to be in that situation. And you sense that. When you're in the batter's box, 60 feet, 60 inches, forget mechanics, forget hard work. It's all about mano a mano. And every single one of these guys, especially DeGrom, he wants a one-on-one matchup.
Well, it's Perez with a chance for Kansas City with a hit to put the Royals on top. Bases loaded, 2 out. Strike 1 poured in at 95. Perez so far this postseason, 4 home runs. All of this by DeGrom to pitch around that error that started the inning and keep a lead. Time for Flores. Inning over. And the young right-hander does his job. Into and out of trouble. Alex, go get warm. We'll check back with you later. 5th inning rolls in, game 2. 1-0 Mets on top. Back after this from your local Fox station. Images from this pitchers duel in Kansas City game 2. 1-0 the Mets on top as we go to the 5th. Michael Conforto is at the plate, takes inside, ball 1. Michael struck out his first time as Cueto came back from a 3-0 count to get him. 2-0. Give you our visit with Terry Collins after the first out here in the 5th, which is right around the corner. First question to Terry was about his young starter and what a luxury it is to be able to hand the ball to Jacob deGrom tonight.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball great. You know, we thought that a couple extra days he'd, get some energy back, which he's showing tonight, but he's a really good pitcher.
What are your guys seeing from the other side, from Johnny Cueto?
Well, we've seen Johnny enough when he was in Cincinnati, and we just know he's tough. He moves the ball all over the strike zone. His delivery's, different. He's quick to the plate. He's got good command. You just got to be patient enough to get a decent pitch to hit.
Hey, in general, after the 14-inning game, how would you assess the guy's availability out in your bullpen?
Well, we don't have Cologne for tonight, but John Neese said he's okay, and certainly, we've got Clippard and Reed and Familia, so we're okay.
Yeah, and last thing, Jonathan Neese gave you something last night that you didn't know if you were going to have. He pitched brilliantly, and you need a good left-hander down there against Kansas City.
We really do, Joe. That's a huge thing right now. We've got to get, if we get in the middle of that lineup in those middle innings, John Neese has got to get them out.
Appreciate it, Terry. Thanks.
Thanks, you.
Terry Collins, who is getting his first crack at it here in the World Series. He's having a ball. He's full of energy. He is just a joy to be around, and all of his buddies are watching back in Michigan at a bar called the Boulevard. He sends them his well wishes as they watch their buddy manage here in the World Series. 2 out, nobody on. Lagares, the number 9 hitter, flat out to center his first time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Watching Terry last night, teams lined up for introductions, game 1 of the World Series. I thought about what Joe Torre said back in '96, his first World Series after waiting his entire professional career. And it was Yogi Berra, the late great Yogi Berra, who told him, Joe, you will not understand until you get out in that field what it means. No other games are going on, and you finally made it. Well, that moment arrived last night for Terry Collins. And he did talk about the emotions of that moment. He looked in the stands to try to find his sister, could not find her in the big crowd. But he said, yeah, it brought me back to my first day managing the big leagues for the Astros.
Lagares into left center off the end of the bat. Late break by Kane, but he can close with the best of them. And we are halfway through game number 2 with the Mets on top behind their young right-hander DeGrom. Fun game here in Kansas City yet again. Tonight's telecast sponsored by The 33 on November 13th. Discover the untold true story. The 33 only in theaters. Beautiful night in Kansas City. Rain has stopped, and our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Now part of the AT&T family. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Mets on top. Number 8 hitter Alex Gordon takes a strike.
So impressed with the fact that DeGrom getting the first strike with anything he wants to throw.
1 strike.
The difference with tonight's game is both pitchers are not afraid to get in. There have been a lot of guys set up on the inside half, and they are pounding the inside half. You got to take that away to get the ball away for him.
Go inside, set up outside. Gordon fouls it away, 2-2. Full count. Two teams meeting in this World Series. Payrolls about 115 to 120 million. Two expansion franchises from the 60s. That is outside, a leadoff walk. More on the Royals, down to Aaron.
Well, when we all left the ballpark this morning, we all just said, wow. And I was asking a lot of guys from the Royals sideline, how much sleep did you get last night? Ned Yost said, I fell asleep around 4:30, got up at 6:30. Alex Gordon said, I have kids, so I was in bed at 3. Woke up at 7, and I asked Alex while he was laying there, what was he thinking about? His home run, the pitching that we saw, some of the great base stealing, and he said, no, I was just thinking about over and over how this team doesn't stop. They just fight back. And Joe, I thought the best part was sitting with Ned Yost today and you saying to him, it's just no fluke how these guys fight. And he said, not at all.
Well, it's just happened too many times in the postseason after the leadoff walk. I mean, it's happened throughout this year. We saw it certainly even dating back, guys, last year to the play-in game in the wild card game against the Oakland A's. And maybe they were alerting the world as they came back against the A's that they were for real. And boy, they seem to prove it every night.
They do, and especially late in games. So far, they've outscored teams 37-11 after the 6th inning. Right here, this is a difficult spot for DeGrom here in the 5th, falling behind.
Rios. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I just wish other teams in baseball would take note as to how the Royals have gone about it. It is aggressive baseball. The way you're supposed to hit, you're taking it away from the pitcher. I'm not trying to drive up your pitch count. I'm going to knock you out of the game. So DeGrom's had to start every batter knowing they're going to jump on that heater with a changeup. Ball 1. Now you're sitting 1-0. Or he might throw it for a strike, but you take it to him, not him taking it to you. And that's what we've watched with the Royals. That's the way the game was meant to be played. And I know we've got into this 100-pitch thing. We're going to drive it up. But not when guys are throwing 95 at nasty stuff. You find yourself 0-2 if you get a gift pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike on Rio. Struck out his first time. That's a base hit into left. And it's the bottom of the order with a walk and a single. Back to the top. Escobar coming up.
You're probably on his own here.
So now as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth, Joe Buck, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci. Here are the Royals, and maybe fitting that it's the bottom 2 in the lineup that set the table for the top part. We've seen that this entire month of October.
Yeah, we've got a chance to see the Royals quite a bit. And Tom, you talked about it. You don't know where you're at in the lineup.
No.
Because they all can do so many different things.
Gordon, a big home run last night in the 9th inning. And Alex Rios, most of his career starts in the big leagues have been in the 3-hole. And here he is doing damage again in the number 9 spot.
Now it'll be interesting to see how they're going to try to defend this. Is he going to bunt? Is he going to swing? These are the other things that the Royals present for you. If you're Escobar, you try to bunt the ball to the third baseman and make David Wright, because now that takes away that force at third base. You make Wright field the ball, and he has to throw it across the diamond. If he's bunting at all. Hard throwers are hard to bunt on.
Especially up there.
You get a high fastball. They're basically saying, I want you to pop it up. It is hard to get on top of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, you want to set that bat at the top of the zone and never bring it up. That was above the zone. And Ned Yost, by the way, we've talked about this, guys. He lets his players play. He says he's probably put on 4 bunts the entire year. He'll leave it up to the hitters.
That's why these guys love playing for him. You got Escobar, the MVP of the ALCS, who hit .478. Up there, at least on the first pitch, trying to get a bunt down. And now again, and he's in the hole 0-2.
I know it's hard to get one down on a guy that throws hard, but I've never seen this bad of punting ever. Ever in baseball. Just across the board. I know Escobar can handle the bat, but we see it every night. They got to move a runner. Not just the Royals, but across the board in the last series and all postseason.
2 on with nobody out, nothing in 2 the count. DeGrom. That's into center field, a base hit. Here comes the runner, Gordon. Throw home, cut off, tie game.
Well, a rare mistake by DeGrom. Went to an 0-2 slider and left it up over the middle. We've seen him elevate the fastball 0-2. Not there.
It's almost like a broken record, though, Joe. They don't strike out. They continue to just put pressure on you by putting the ball in play.
See the spin, the slider just hangs over the plate. No tilt. Rare mistake, but a costly one.
Now the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Zobrist. Strike 1. And just one more note about the aggressive nature of the Royals. When we talked to Noah Syndergaard, the Game 3 starter for the Mets, he said you can read all the scouting reports, but once you witness how aggressive this team is in person, they're different than any team the Mets have faced this year. He gets the ball in Game 3. That is a fair ball. Good play, Duda. Runners advance to second and third, only 1 out.
I like how Lucas Duda surrounded that ball and really kept, if he dives and kicks it away from him, it goes down the corner. He really circled this to make sure his body was going to stay in front of this ball. Watch him circle it and come around and keep that thing in front of him. He doesn't have play anywhere else. But the nature in which he went around it, if he kicks that forward, it still keeps it in front of him and doesn't go down the line. It's a nice play.
Now it's second and third with 1 out, and the batter is Kane. And Jonathan Neese is up, the left-hander. And we just heard Terry Collins talk about for the Mets in their pen. Kane, strike 1.
Saw Terry Collins. He was motioning to Lucas Duda to bring him in a little more at first base. Right now, they're conceding a run.
Yeah, what that tells me is they think they're going to get to Johnny Cueto. You don't just give up runs if you think the other guy on the other side is going to shut you down.
Strike 2. We talk about strikeouts. That was certainly the case with the Mets starters the first 2 rounds of the postseason. Coming into tonight, 71 strikeouts in 60 1/3 innings. But last night, Matt Harvey, their number 1 starter, only 2 strikeouts. Just 2 tonight for Jacob DeGrom.
And this is the ultimate spot where you need a strikeout. A strikeout pitcher against a team that puts the ball in play, where an out will score a run.
That will get out of play.
Say 0-2, he hasn't wasted a pitch, though. We saw the hit to Escobar on 0-2. He's around the plate with Kane. So as a hitter, you got a pitcher who's aggressive in the strike zone. and you got a bunch of hitters that are aggressive, he's going to put the ball in play. You may want to waste one. See if he'll chase something, and then it sets up another pitch to get him out.
Ball one. That's back toward the dugout. And out of play.
They'll have to try another pitch. 4 years running, the Royals, the toughest team to strike out in the major leagues.
DeGrom during the regular season struck out 205 in 191 innings pitched. Coming to get it, Lagares. Tagging is the runner at third, and now Rio stays put, and that was a good hold. 2 out. He came down and stopped, and a good throw from Lagares to the plate.
And the reason he gets something on it is this is such a line drive, and he's coming full speed, all momentum coming forward. So it allows him to actually get a running start on a throw. You know, we get those big numbers from the outfielders on StatCast. Oh, he threw that 90 miles an hour. Oh, he threw it 95. Well, when you get a running start, that's what happens. You get everything behind it coming full speed through.
Well, now with first base open, another meeting on the mound, because the guy that'll be digging in is Eric Hosmer, who has been on fire with men on base in this postseason. 9 for 26. He's hit .346, 13 RBIs, and among active players, the most RBIs per at bat in the big leagues. The Royals record 25 so far.
It's another multiple choice question. Last inning, he took a pass on Moustakas to pitch to Perez. Now you have a choice, Hosmer or Morales.
Coming into tonight, DeGrom had thrown 20 innings this postseason and struck out 27. There's the 0-1. That's up the middle. Base hit. Rio scores. Here comes Escobar. It's 3-1.
Well, these guys put on a clinic. They are special. But what concerns me, and probably Terry Collins, is it's not the stuff that he has. They're not swinging and missing. You can't get strikeouts if they don't swing and miss. The at bat by Kane, he fouled off everything. Right here, a ball in the middle. Hosmer does not miss. They just keep coming at you. Put so much pressure on the pitcher to make perfect pitches.
Strike one on Morales.
Both strikeouts by DeGrom have been called. The difficulty of getting, well, you just said, you got one there, swings and misses, but also keep in mind how short the Royals stay to the baseball. They do it with walks and singles.
The 0-1. That's a base hit into right. Hosmer will go to third. Throw by Granderson. Too late. Relentless.
most teams and most base runners with 2 outs are going to stop at second base on this ball. Okay, I'm good. We're first and second. You're in scoring position. Hosmer looked over his right shoulder, didn't look at the coach over his left shoulder, and just said, forget it. Watch him running. He makes the decision on his own. And he doesn't need the third base coach. He's all on his own. And just said, I am going. I'm going to put pressure on him. You got to make a perfect throw to get me.
Now it's Moustakas.
Yeah, and great scouting as well. Knowing you just keep running on Curtis Granderson, really doesn't have much arm strength in right field.
Will it stay a 2-run lead or will it be bigger? This inning started with a leadoff walk to Alex Gordon. 4 hits in the inning, including back-to-back hits with 2 out. Ball 1.
You know, I get a chance to be around a lot of pitchers. Dan Plesac, Al Leiter, John Smoltz. And one of the things Smoltz talks about, it's not pitch count, it's stress pitches. How many stress pitches do you throw? And you can almost say every pitch he's thrown in that, all 84 of them have been under duress.
Pitches now. Only 3 times have the Royals swung and missed. Not at all on 21 2-strike pitches. Just cannot put away this Kansas City lineup.
Two and one on Moustakas. Dancing around down the third baseline.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Jackie Robinson in the World Series try to steal home, but it does give the thought that maybe they'll do something with the first and third play, but I doubt it with Moustakas hitting.
That's down the line in the corner. This ball is foul. Bill Welke, the right field umpire, and the crew chief on his own crew had the plate last night, had this call, and let's see. Clearly foul off that green padding to the right of the yellow paint.
And unlike the regular season, you have 6 umpires, so he's down the line already positioned and had to just turn around basically and get a real good close-up look at it.
And on his 22nd try, can DeGrom get a swing and miss?
Runner at first will go. 3-2 to Moustakas.
Do you know how hard it is to do what the Royals are doing? I mean, he's throwing, his stuff is great. That's 97 in your eyes.
Again, that's a good 2-strike approach. Watch how short to the baseball. Live to see another pitch.
About time to start talking about Dale Swaim, the hitting coach for the Kansas City Royals. These are veteran professional hitters, but Dale Swaim has got them rolling here in the postseason. Aggressive, not swinging and missing. Gritty ball player in his day.
Yeah, and I like the fact he was a switch hitter, so I think the teaching comes from both sides of the plate. He can identify with his hitters.
Another 3-2. That's a ground ball into right center. In to score is Hosmer. Over to third is Morales, and it's 4-1.
They're going to have to make a visit. They're going to come get him. This game get away from you real quick. I know they'd like to see him get Perez, the right-handed hitter. But you can't get too far down on these guys with that bullpen out there looming with everybody fresh.
He just cannot get strike three. It's incredible. It's like you're trying to go to sleep and the faucet in the bathroom just keeps dripping. Drip, drip, drip. Make it stop. It's annoying. They just keep coming.
Now it's Perez. Terry Collins had a chance if he wanted to get DeGrom and go to Nice in his bullpen with a left-handed hitting Moustakas. He left DeGrom out there. Moustakas got him for a 2-out RBI single. The first Mets starter to allow more than 3 runs since September 22nd. What a swing by Perez, strike 2.
I mean, this is one of those times through the lineup you're sitting there going, all right, is somebody flashing signs to them? What's going on? This is how conspiracy theories start, because they are on everything.
9th man to bat in the inning. Left side, almost ate up David Wright. The inning is over. And this crowd celebrates a 4-run 5th. They keep swinging. They rarely miss. And they keep coming at you. Royals lead 1-0 and lead game 2 4-1 after 5. Sixth inning rolls in here in game 2. Our game summary brought to you by Budweiser. Johnny Cueto back out there for another 5 innings, only 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. DeGrom just got roughed up with a 4-run 5th inning. Duda has but a 4-run 5-hit 5th for Kansas City. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV, now part of the AT&T family. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Top of the order for the Mets, it's Granderson. Took a strike and now a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2.
Curtis Granderson really has tremendous plate discipline. You need to throw 3 strikes in the zone to get this guy out.
There's one of them. After the first pitch, and now it's 2-2. Such a big inning for Cueto with the big arms looming in the bullpen for Kansas City. Ball 3.
It's almost like a quarterback that you say, hey, don't make mistakes, manage the game. And really that's all he's got to do is manage the inning, and the bullpen's out there to pick you up if you need it.
3-2. Right side. Weird hop. Zobrist got him by half a step, 1 down. And a long throw from Zobrist, who almost took too long.
That big hop put him in a position to make a strong throw, though, because he doesn't have to bend all the way down. Now he's set in a position where he can get to a spot to really release a hard throw. If he has to bend down, now he's got to come all the way back up to set up to make a throw to be strong. But because he catches at that position, he's already set up in a position to put something on it.
And he had to with Granderson running. Now it's David Wright. 0 for 2. Off the end of the bat, falling in a hurry, but there's Kane. 2 out. And before Daniel Murphy bats with the bases empty, tonight's telecast sponsored by MasterPass. Your shortcut to priceless. By Chevrolet, find new roads. And by Indeed, how the world works. Pitch number 78 will be the first delivery to Daniel Murphy, who's 0 for 1. That's foul. Is that strike 2?
Pretty good company right there. Or what do they call Murph? Home run Murphy or Babe Murphy? Either one works.
Well, the Mets need him to give the team a jolt. 2 for 8 in this World Series so far.
Johnny Cueto's on his game.
Yeah, and you notice now, H, the mound presence now with that lead. Once again, working much quicker, attacking the strike zone more. I was going to say that he walks off the back of the mound.
You know, they sit back on eye.
And it's a 4-1 game into the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 2 with the rain falling in Kansas City. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Twitter. Now there's a new way to get the best of Twitter. Bottom of the 6th inning, Royals batting against Hansel Robles. New pitcher for the Mets takes over for DeGrom, who goes 5, allows 4 runs on 6 hits. That's down the line, foul off the bat of Gordon, who led off that 4-run 5th with a walk. The numbers from the regular season for Robles, who's into the game with his team down by 3. Strike 2.
You know, Aaron talked about Alex Gordon thinking about how relentless this offense is going to bed last night. That man right there, Jacob DeGrom, will be thinking about that leaky faucet. Only 3 swings and misses tonight, ties a career low. Happened against the Yankees back in April. And more importantly, 24 times he threw a pitch with 2 strikes. Not once did he get a swing and miss.
Gordon hits one in the air to center. Back is Lagares, 1 down. Well, I read this at our own risk. Check out the heavy hitters on TV's best new comedy. Rob Lowe and Fred Savage are absolute all-stars in the most celebrated show of the season. The Grinder returns all new Tuesdays after the World Series on Fox. I got into that read in that promo for The Grinder last night, and about halfway through it, boom. No power to the truck, the generator. And it's the curse of Rob Lowe and Fred Savage. Last night.
It was so powerful it knocked out the replay in New York.
People are calling that show electrifying. 1 out, nobody on, a 1-0 pitch. Nothing in 2. Rios got a hit after the walk in the 4-run 5th. He's 1 for 2 tonight. It was his first World Series hit. Wait a long time to get to this point. That's a strike. 1-2.
I'm surprised that he didn't ask for that ball. It's been a long time. Over, what, 1,600 games, somewhere in the neighborhood?
He's been slugging away. Wanted to come to Kansas City for this very opportunity. And he has kicked it into gear here in October, and now he hits one into left. This one is caught by Cespedes. Up against the wall as Rios came oh so close for his first World Series home run.
This just shows you how big this park is. That ball was crushed. It's a cold night, damp night, and Cespedes making it look easy. And you got to admire the cool flip back in. Off the bat, summer day, that ball's in the drink out there in the water fountain. Not tonight.
Escobar gets buzzed by that pitch. And that'll get everybody's attention in that Royals dugout.
Yes, it will. Duck a little bit. What's going to be a cutter?
Yeah,
Just kept running back in on him.
No purpose there. Just kind of slipped out of the hand without any bite to it. It's another pitch, H. I'm not sure how it missed him, but it did not hit that left elbow pad.
And you start to think, well, they're going to try and shake these guys up a little bit. They're up there hacking. They're not swinging and missing. Then you know, after you look at that replay, that it's a breaking ball. And if nothing else, it got the attention of Escobar, but doesn't appear intentional at all. Robles, who misses outside for ball 2-2-1.
And Robles looked like he's tough to hang in there with the right-hander. He's got a funky motion. He starts almost strides at the hitter and then brings the ball back to the outside corner.
That four-seam fastball really holds its plane. It's got life.
Rain picks up a little bit. That's to third. David Wright. That ends the inning. 4-1 game as we go into the seventh. Good catch by Cespedes. Here in game two. Back after this from your local Fox station. Give you the Geico in-game box score for the Mets. Only 2 hits. They belong to Lucas Duda. Otherwise, Johnny Cueto has been in charge. A run on 2 hits leads 4-1. And he has taken this game for the Royals into the 7th. Pitch swing by Cespedes, strike 1. Hit down the line, foul. Understand that the guys, the stars from the grinder, have sent a retort for the proposed curse of Rob Lowe, Fred Savage, because of the power outage last night in the truck.
Glad it was you that said all that, not me.
Cespedes loses his bat.
The question is, did they lose their mind?
You did kind of hang it on them, Joe.
Gee whiz, man.
All right, big guys, they can take it. They're part of the family now. Cespedes trying to get on to start something for the Mets here in the 7th. Just a 3-run game. Time left for New York. It's inside. Good pitch from Cueto, ball 1.
They've been trying to slip that front door slider in there all day. Actually had good command with it because he has not missed with it over the plate.
Alex Rodriguez talked about the importance of Cespedes in this lineup to get hot. Not only because he's the cleanup hitter and can produce runs, but to maybe force the Royals to give better pitches to Murphy. Cespedes 0 for 3. All right.
Hey, Buck. Blaming the World Series outage on the curse of Rob Lowe and Fred Savage.
It's all on us. I think that's a little excessive.
Yeah, how about the curse of your beard?
Yeah, how about you take a little responsibility? I think the curse is on your face.
But I get his choice. He's looking for a little more gravitas, a little more machismo.
Yeah, but does that even work? You take a perfectly handsome face, you throw a beard on it just for a little street cred?
No, it does not.
It's Rob and Fred.
That's pretty good.
And a strike on the outside corner from Johnny Cueto.
So, what'd you
That's
think?
it. That's good. That's good. There's the 0-1. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We got a 3-run game here in the 7th inning. All I know is we have potentially 5 more games to get back out there. That's inside. 2 balls and a strike. And I do know that Winnie Cooper likes beard on a man.
You're going way back there.
Okay, Savage.
I think you hit a nerve right there.
Wow.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2. Duda has 2 hits. That's it tonight for the Mets. Cueto has outpitched DeGrom.
Yeah, and I'm watching how he's disrupting Duda. He hasn't hit a ball hard off him, but I'm looking for a quick pitch here because Duda's trying to get that leg kick up. Here it is. Look how he had to swing. Not going to let him get where you can get up and that leg all the way full tilt so you can get some power behind it.
Almost has to start early and hold it. Last thing you want to do is start late.
2-2. Full count. How well is Johnny Cueto pitching? The tarp is still on the pitcher's mound out in the bullpen for Kansas City.
He's in his zone.
That will get out of play.
And let's remember, Ned Yost, he's a guy who cannot wait to get to his relief corps with good reasons, many good reasons out there. I'm not used to seeing Royals pitchers in the postseason, starting pitchers on the mound in the 7th inning.
Tell you what, though, after the long game last night, this is a gift. Even though everybody's available, to be able to not use them, huge advantage.
3-2. Duda hits it in the air to left. Gordon is there. 2 out. What an unpredictable, crazy year it's been in college football. Every week we see another stunning upset or a crazy finish. Tomorrow, 5th-ranked TCU will try to stay undefeated and make a strong showing in their last game before the playoff rankings are released. Should be a shootout. West Virginia against TCU tomorrow at 7 Eastern, only on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Darno, strike 1. Johnny Cueto was able to right himself after getting a little bit out of whack in that 4th inning. He has been so good here tonight. And you know, thoughts of his fellow countryman Edinson Volquez, who was told that his father passed away after his start was completed last night in Game 1. Edinson has left and has gone down to the Dominican Republic. Cueto is making him proud tonight. 0-2 pitch. In the air to center. That's where Kane resides. And Johnny Cueto is the star tonight. He and the Royals lead Game 2 4-1 into the bottom of the 7th inning we go. It's a 4-1 game into the bottom of the 7th inning. And a new pitcher for the Mets, Jonathan Niese, takes over. Good, quick, quiet inning for Robles. And Niese was good last night. We talked about Jonathan with Terry Collins during the manager interview. He could really give this Mets bullpen a lift with what he can do against this Kansas City lineup with all the lefties that are in there. He fires a strike at 91 into Ben Zobrist as we start the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing for me will just be to see how he bounces back night to night. That's always the challenge with the starter converted to the bullpen. How will he do the following day? 93, feeling pretty good right now.
Up the middle. Flores, what a play, and what a pick on the other end. Good play by Flores, who has shown no weaknesses at shortstop since taking over for Tejada.
Well, here's why you think he's got a chance to really be a good big league shortstop. Early in the season, he really struggles, and the ball he struggles on, believe it or not, is the ball at him. When he's on the move, on the run, no thinking, field it and get rid of it, it's when he really shows flashes of brilliance like a play like that.
And the knock on Wilmer had been lack of range. Showed it off last night and again tonight.
Here's Lorenzo Cain now with 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 from Nice. As you said last night, Tom, they started to condition Nice for this toward the end of the year, but he's been a starter in the big leagues. He falls behind Cain 3-0.
I think Harold made a great point. Pitching consecutive days, that's a challenge unto itself when you have not been trained to do that. Terry Collins talked about the velocity being up, 92 and 93.
I think also the mindset has to change. You know, pitchers are such creatures of habit. Get into your routine. Okay, here's what I do every day after I pitch. I'm going to run, I'm going to lift, and do all those things I pitch in 4 days from now. He has to change that too, to being ready to every day you show up. You're part of the roster that's going to be active.
There's Chris Young, who's out in the bullpen but not available tonight, just hanging out with the guys. Came out of the bullpen, got the win last night. A walk to Cain on 4 pitches and a check on Lorenzo at first.
He was on base every night. Lorenzo Cain's on some kind of streak.
Every game of the postseason.
That's easy for Cespedes. Hosmer flies out. 2 down. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by the Peanuts movie, November 6th, only in theaters. By T-Mobile, ditch your carrier and switch to the Uncarrier. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You know, Joe, watching Cespedes make that catch and how easy he glides around the outfield. I was fortunate as a young man to get a chance to see Willie Mays, and he's the closest thing I've seen in mannerism of watching him glide around, and just the smooth fluidity of how he moves. Reminds me a lot of Willie Mays.
Well, that's high praise.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any higher than that.
Now I can hear Willie right now go, he can't do everything I do. Not everything Willie do.
1 on, 2 out. Morales just gets a piece of it. A ball and 2 strikes.
Asked Willie a couple years ago, I said, who reminds you today of maybe yourself? That could be Willie Mays. And he said, who could do everything? Nobody do everything. I like Willie. I know he's watching. I hope you're feeling good, Will.
Check on the runner at first, Lorenzo Cain. Morales waits for a 1-2 pitch. And he steps off.
You know, I love the history of baseball, and particularly when you go to ballparks like this.
As Morales strikes out.
Where you've seen other guys play in that ballpark. You've seen George Brett hit a ball a certain place, and you've seen different guys do things, so you can get a feel for what it was like when they were playing and compare today's player to it.
Go to the 8th inning in Game 2. Kansas City on top by 3. Back here in this beautiful ballpark in Kansas City, the 2015 Reliever of the Year awards presented by the Hartford were presented prior to the game. Mark Melancon of the Pirates was named the Trevor Hoffman National League Reliever of the Year, and Andrew Miller of the Yankees was named the Mariano Rivera American League Reliever of the Year. Melancon 51 saves, 2.23 ERA. Miller had 36. Some time on the DL at 2.14 ERA. Trevor Hoffman had 601 career saves. Mariano Rivera 652. You combine that with what he did in the postseason. There's nobody that can even hold a candle to the body of work that Mariano Rivera put out there for the world to see, especially in October.
No doubt about it. Trevor Hoffman's up for Hall of Fame this year. This is his 5th year, and come January, we'll see where he is at. He's on the ballot. Will he get voted in or not? I guess if you got an award already after your name, you got to be
That's
going
pretty
to
good on the resume.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Conforto hits one in the air to left center. Back is Kane, and just in front of the track. One down, and Johnny Cueto tonight remains the only Royals starter to pitch into the 7th inning in this postseason. Game 5 of the division series, he went 8. And now he is the first since that division series for the Royals to go into the 7th inning, now working into the 8th inning here tonight in the World Series. Orlando takes over in the game. He's in right. The formula is there for Ned Yost in Kansas City, with Kelvin Herrera getting loose for the Royals in their pen. Here's Flores, the count 2-0.
They finally took the tarp off that bullpen mound, Joe. 28 games for the Royals the last 2 postseasons. It's only the 4th time a starting pitcher was out there in the 7th inning, and Johnny obviously going even beyond that.
Here comes a 2-0 pitch. Hard hit right at Moustakas, 2 out.
Get a sense of how quick that ball gets down there. You almost catch that like a catcher catching a fastball.
Ball 1 to the number 9 man, Lagares.
But they love Johnny Cueto here. He has found a home in Kansas City, man. I think it's the flair, and it's also how well he's pitched at home. He's putting on a show now. Little pause, little shimmy, shimmy, shake on the shoulders. He's feeling it. Look at him do a little wiggle on the mound.
Can't flag it down. Escobar with a backhand to get it. And Lagares cut down. The defense has shined for the Royals in October. Escobar's doing it all. Made a big play last night. Backs up Cueto here. Bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. Royals will bat up 3. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chobani. Love this life. By DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. And by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. Moustakas takes a strike from Jonathan Nice. Moustakas tonight is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. That's a strike. You surprised to see Nice extended for more work after working last night over an inning. Tonight he's going to get over an inning.
Well, I think the presence of Moustakas and then Gordon, 2 batters away, left-handed hitters, he wants Nice out there. He's been very efficient, Joe, in working multiple innings last night and now tonight.
Perez will follow, and then, as Tom said, Gordon right side under the glove of Duda into right. They've ruled it a base hit. Official caps, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Get all your Mets and Royals World Series gear and celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop.
I think they're having a tough time figuring out how to defend Moustakas. All of a sudden, there's nobody in right field. Usually the second baseman's sitting way out there. Remember the ball that Duda went and kicked on the air? Murphy was standing right there. Now Murphy was over. And so they weren't in the traditional shift that they've been putting in the whole time.
It's a great shot. You can see the glove of Duda hit the ground prior to trying to extend it. Came up with dirt and no baseball.
2-0 on Salvador Perez. Wade Davis getting loose for the Royals in their pen. Ball 3. That's a strike over the inside corner. Off the plate, foul ball. T-Mobile wants you to share your passion, be part of the Big Seventh. Post your photos and videos with hashtag the Big Seventh, and you might be featured on TV during Game 4 of the World Series. Watch it on Fox. It'll be on Saturday night.
You know, Joe, it's interesting managing a 7-game series because you know the next 3 are going to be in a row after the day off on Thursday. And I'm watching Davis in the bullpen.
That is in the left. A rocket off the bat of Perez. Moustakas is digging to third on a double by the Royals catcher.
And my point being, watching Davis in the bullpen, he's not really letting it air out because if the Royals break this inning open after the double here from Perez sets him up second and third, no outs, you pull him back if you're managing the rest of the series.
So Perez with his first hit of the night. Third of this World Series, infield in. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Alex Gordon. He shakes his head at that. He's walked twice, scored a run. And his walk started the big inning for the Royals, the 4-run 5th. That's strike 2.
Well, Joe, this is where the Kansas City Royals do their best work. 2 strikes.
Gil Martin, the left-hander. Addison Reed, the right-hander. Two and two, good block by d'Arnaud. To the shortstop off the glove of Flores. Moustakas scores. Down to second is Gordon. Holding at third is Perez. And it's 5-1. It's an RBI single with Alex Gordon just flying into second base.
Again, with this big ballpark, Flores got enough to knock the ball down. It trickled like 10 feet past the infield dirt. And Salvi Perez gave him such a great run. It looked like he might be coming home. I think it forced Cespedes to go to the plate.
More late pitch for the Royals, who lead the series and Game 2. We look ahead to Game 3, and that will be on Friday night. Yordano Ventura against Noah Syndergaard, two young, hard-throwing right-handers who will bring the heat on an October night in Queens. Second and third, nobody out, a run home. Orlando hits it in the air to left. Back is Cespedes to make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Perez. Tagging going to third is Gordon. 6-1. Paulo Orlando took over for Rios defensively, and now he sends Cespedes back to the track for a sac fly.
I know the score is 6-1 now. Alex Gordon tags up and goes to third, but what a pretty play by Cespedes. Over the shoulder and throws a missile back into the infield.
By the way, the official score changed the ball that Gordon hit to a double. So it's gone single, double, double, sac fly. One out in the inning. Gordon at third, the infield in, and Escobar, who made a sparkling play last night with a glove. Again tonight, he's been hitting so well. Hardly talked about his defense, but he can really play short.
He's been spectacular. Joe, you talked about the 3 hits in this inning, all coming with 2 strikes. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I wasn't around in the dead ball days of Willie Keeler. And I'm telling you, the Mets pitchers tonight have thrown 34 pitches with 2 strikes and got 1 swing and miss.
It's another 2-strike situation. Ball 1 is up for Madison Reed, who worked in last night's game and pitched a perfect inning in the 7th.
I don't know, Tom. You come up with some nuggets. You sure you're not back to the future?
The 1-2. 2-2.
I'm glad you brought up Dale Swaim earlier, Joe, because it really is about approach and the team buying into this. Part of this is the expanse of this ballpark. You don't get rewarded for big swings.
Here's one into center. Back is Lagares over his head. Gordon scores. Flying to third is Escobar. They just keep coming.
More 2-strike damage for a guy who's just been killing fastballs this entire postseason. Doesn't matter what the count is.
Well, what has happened here is they've also not only knocking around the Mets pitchers, but they've knocked Davis out of this game as well. We're going to see Johnny Cueto possibly throw a complete game.
That's certainly a possibility as Addison Reed comes in, gives up the deep sac fly to left, the RBI triple. He's out. Sean Gilmartin, the left-hander, coming in here in the 8th. Chance to get Sean Gilmartin into the game for Terry Collins and the Mets in a 7-1 affair. Zobrist is turned around to bat right-handed. Infield is in. Escobar, the runner, at third. Alcides Escobar with 2 more hits, 2 more RBIs tonight. He's got 20 hits this postseason. They're the regular season numbers for the left-hander who made his first opening day roster this year. Escobar thought about it. Stays put at third, 2 out. And the batter will be Lorenzo Cain. Chevrolet and MLB are teaming up to support youth baseball This year's MVP will receive a Silverado full of baseball equipment to donate to their local youth league. Who will win the MVP? You have to keep watching to see.
Well, when you're beating the club up like they're beating them up and this game gets ugly, I think any other time Escobar would have been running on that ball. Make the shortstop move to the middle and he doesn't run, but it's 7-1 to pounding him. That was almost a sign of respect in a sense by not running right there.
First pitch of ball to Lorenzo Cain. Now the next popped up. On the infield for Murphy. Nice job by Gilmartin. The inning is over. But after a 4-run fifth, it's a 3-run eighth. It's a 6-run lead for the Kansas City Royals into the ninth of game 2. We go to the ninth inning, 7-1 Kansas City on top. Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Now part of the AT&T family. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Crisp night on the 28th of October, game 2. And the last American League pitcher to throw a complete game in a World Series. The unbelievable night for Jack Morris in game 7. The 10-inning effort against the Atlanta Braves.
10 innings, and there was a lot of traffic that night. He pitched out of trouble like I've never seen, especially considering the circumstances. Game 7. Cueto, really not that much traffic in the game. Here's the walk-off sac fly by Gene Larkin.
Were you at that game, Tom?
Well, that was a single there, not a sac fly. That was the loudest venue I've ever been in. You walked out of that Metrodome, and it was like you were at a rock concert for 4 hours. Your ears were ringing.
Both those guys are in the park. John Smoltz down to our right for MLB Network, the international feed. And Jack Morris is here as well as Cueto goes for the complete game. And this crowd was anxious to see Cueto pop out of that dugout, try and finish what he started. That's strike 1 on Granderson, 0 for 2 tonight.
And Tom, I really think the Mets underestimated Cueto. I know they faced him a lot. They felt like the hesitation and different things he does on the mound wouldn't affect him. It has.
Zobrist will charge it and get the out. Still only 2 hits tonight for the Mets.
Well, that's the key, Joe, for me. And both those hits are actually soft singles by Lucas Duda. Talked about the traffic against Jack Morris. If you're looking for the last American Leaguer complete game World Series with so few hits, we'll go back to 1967 and Jim Lombard. That's how much Johnny Cueto has been in command. We talked about the Mets trying to get him into the middle of the strike zone. Well, guess what? They're still waiting in the 9th inning.
Ball 1 outside to David Wright. Ball 2. The Royals were on the receiving end of a complete game in last year's World Series. Game 5 at the hands of Madison Bumgarner. Only 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, no walks, a 117 pitch night. Moustakas. 2 out.
Well, he's just been masterful right there. He knew he needed to throw a strike, and it was almost like batting practice. He just stepped and threw the ball right there. He knows he's got 6 runs to work with. Said hit it.
Well, the Mets fans can't wait to get this series to Citi Field on Friday night. Here's Murphy. It'll be the first World Series game at home for the New York Mets since 2000 against their crosstown rival, the Yankees, and that place will be electric. And the pitching matchup will be terrific. Noah Syndergaard against Yordano Ventura, and then Steven Matz in game 4 against Chris Young. Will be the first World Series game at Citi Field, a venue that opened in 2009. Right now, though, Game 2 belongs to Johnny Cueto. Can he finish what he started? Two and two. Ned Yost could have gone one of two ways for Game 1. He wanted Cueto here at home in front of these fans. Not only tonight, but if there is a Game 6, he would get the ball back here at Kauffman Stadium.
I just can't see Daniel Murphy just going down without a fight. He's had some tough at-bats tonight.
And he will take the walk. Wade Davis getting ready in case.
Yeah, you got to win the game, right?
I think Cueto was questioning the count.
You're right. You can say that. He was like, that's my fault. He probably wouldn't have thrown that pitch had he known it was 3-2.
Yeah, I think he thought it was ball 2, a 2-2 count instead of a 3-2 count. It continues for Cespedes as Murphy takes ball 1 up and in.
A good move by Sal Perez to get out here, slow him down. You know, Davis is there also. Obviously, you want to win the game. I'm not sure you want to extend Johnny Cueto and make him work too hard. I know there's an extra day between this game and the potential Game 6. Your heart wants him to finish if you're Ned Yost, but you watch him closely.
Cespedes is hitless tonight, 0 for 3. 3 walks tonight for Cueto. He's 2-0. Broken bat, fly ball, right field. How about Cueto? Royals up 2 games to nothing. Cueto now 2-1 this postseason. DeGrom 3-1 in a 2-hour, 54-minute game. The pitcher, Dayton Moore, the general manager of the Royals, went out to get at the deadline. Throws a 2-hitter here in Game 2 of the World Series.
And he's been up and down. I thought, well documented. He's struggled on and he's been good. Who are you going to get tonight? We got the great Cueto tonight. He was fantastic from the beginning. I thought he did a great job of locating, kept the ball down, and he kept his pitch count down. And that was the difference in the game for me.
He was masterful, never gave in. And how about Kansas City taking 2 games started by Matt Harvey, Jacob DeGrom, in which those 2 young guns of the Mets were able to get just 4 strikeouts combined.
Such a strength for Kansas City, able to put the bat on the ball, and Alcides Escobar wanted that baseball. As he presents it to Johnny Cueto. And with that, we send it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Eric, Johnny Cueto, brilliant tonight. 2-hitter. When did you know that it was going to be the good Johnny?
He's been good here at home, you know, but you can really tell he was locked in those first couple innings. When he was missing spots, it wasn't out over the plate. It was either a hair off in or out. So he was electric tonight. You know, that's the type of outing we needed, especially with the way we used our bullpen last night. So just a huge outing from a big-time player.
Your 2-out, 2-run single broke a 1-1 tie in the 5th. What was it that inning against DeGrom, Eric? Was it his location or was it the Royals' aggression?
I just think it was our aggression, you know, off a guy like that. That's an ace over there. And any opportunity you get with guys in scoring position, you got to take full advantage of it. And I think that was key for us tonight. Every time we got guys on base off of DeGrom, we took advantage of it. And, you know, those are big opportunities. Like I said, the way he throws the ball, you got to make the most out of all of those.
Eric, thanks very much. Now over to Erin Andrews.
Kenny, thanks. What a treat. Sal Perez, Mike Moustakas is joining me right now. Sal told me I have to ask him questions first. So let's start with your pitcher, Johnny Cueto, cruising through 3. And then in that 4th inning, kind of got out of whack a little bit with the strike zone. You met him at the mound. What was discussed about an adjustment to be made?
I just told him, hey, you have to stay like you start the game. Keep aggressive, please. Keep the ball down and forget my glove, okay? And that's what he do. He just concentration and pound my glove.
What was working the rest of the way for him to finish this game tonight?
He's pretty aggressive, and he got ahead in the count, so that worked for him a lot. You know, when he ahead in the count, first try, you know, he can use the secondary pitch, and that's what he do all night.
I got to ask you, Ned Yost shared with us something about you, saying you've come to the point where on big stages like this, you said, this just feels like a regular game. Does this feel like a regular game with how comfortable you guys are playing?
When the game starts, I just try to concentration, you know, in my game, in my plan, and not think too much in the fan, but we love this fan, and thank you for the support, and thank you for everything they're doing for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mike, come on over. Jake DeGrom was cruising in this game, and then that 5th inning happened. What happened? What adjustment did you guys make in facing him?
You know, he's a great pitcher, and you know, we were putting the ball in play all night, and just weren't catching any breaks. And again, you know, we kept battling throughout the game, and you know, caught a break. And then Rios had a big hit, and you know, just kind of took off from there. And you know, just kept battling throughout the entire game. Kept
battling this entire postseason. Why are you guys so loose and tight? Thank God they didn't get us with that water, by the way. I wouldn't have. Why are you guys so loose in that dugout?
Just because we've been here before. You know, we've been up with our backs up against the wall. You know, against the Astros in the wild card game last year, we've been in these situations, so we're comfortable with where we're at. And you know, we just got to go out and continue to play good ball. And you know, we're a confident group of guys.
And comfortable going to New York City up 2 and comfortable going up to New York City up 2 games.
Absolutely. Again, you know, it's a great ball club over there. We still got to go out and find a way to beat a great team. And you know, the way they can play, we gotta keep battling, keep putting pressure on them.
Moose, thanks.
Thank you.
Joe.
All right, Aaron, thank you. The Royals get their first World Series complete game since Brett Saberhagen in the clincher Game 7 when they won it all in 1985. Cueto, the first 2-hitter in a World Series since Greg Maddux in 1995, Game 1 for the Braves over the Indians. Won a game. Kevin, guys, all yours. 7-1, Kansas City, up 2-0.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Yeah, the Royals impressive again. 2-0, they lead this series. Now, we've got a lot to do, too. We'll hear from some people. A lot to break down in this game with my guys here. Frank Thomas, the Hall of Famer. The hit king, Pete Rose, is here. 19-year vet, Raul Ibanez, and here's 3-time MVP and current Yankee Alex Rodriguez. So we've got a lot to do when we come back. Breaking down this Royals 7-1 win over the Mets. They now have a 2-0 series lead in this World Series as we head to New York. The Fox World Series post-game show presented by Chevrolet. As you can imagine, the crowd is pretty crazy here at Kauffman Stadium right now. And why not? The Royals taking a commanding 2-0 World Series lead. Really a dominating 2-0 win here tonight. Welcome back to our set here in left field. Everyone's going nuts. They are fired up because they feel it here, the way these Royals are playing. And there's a lot of things we could talk about, which we will. But let's start with Johnny Cueto. The decision was made, guys, to start him at home. Why? Because it's easy to look. Look at the numbers of him at home versus the road. I mean, it's such a stark difference. And just consider his last 2 games at home, 17 innings, 4 hits allowed. Frank Cueto, last time he was on the mound in Toronto, 8 runs, booed out of the stadium. The Cueto chants tonight, there was a different Cueto chant. It was a joy for him.
Tonight we got the great Johnny Cueto, the ace, the one Pete Rose talk about and the one he loves all the time. He came out very focused. You could tell from pitch 1 tonight, did his thing. He bought into this crowd, and that's why that the Royals are up 2-0, because Johnny Cueto pitched like the ace that they traded for.
This is why they got him. And I'm sorry I said 10 runs. They only scored 8 together, so I was a little bit off.
You were a
on
little
that.
shy,
yeah,
but you did say Cueto would bring it, and you were right about that.
He pitches well here. They know that. That's why they started him here, and that's why they gave him. Then brought him over here from Cincinnati. This is the Johnny Cueto we know in Cincinnati.
Right, well, it was interesting to me because in the 4th inning, that looked like the inning the Mets actually had a chance to almost knock him out of the game. I know you say crazy, he had a 2-hitter, but he was walking around the mound. It looked like he was stinking a little bit, and they only got 1 run there.
Yeah, you know what he did? He did what all great aces do, is he minimized damage. Right there, it could have been a huge inning. He minimized the damage. He made the pitches when he needed to make the pitches, changed speeds, and used his two-seam fastball as well as his off-speed to keep the guys off balance.
Yeah, signature moment here for Johnny Cueto. One he'll remember forever, that's for sure. 122 pitches. He was in control for all 122. Very, very impressive.
All right, fascinating to me about this Mets staff now. We know how good they are. We know how hard they throw. But when you look at it, the Royals have not swung and missed. Now, maybe that's not a surprise. That's what they do. But tonight, again, the issue against Jacob deGrom, contact all night long, and that was eventually his undoing, Alex.
Yeah, Kevin, it's something he's never seen before. And we talked about them being challenged like never before. Well, we've seen that in 2 games. Look at these numbers. 34 starts. On average, 15 swings and misses. Tonight, 3. Listen,
Wow.
he feels like he's Mike Tyson. He punches you once, he punches you twice, you go down. Tonight, Kansas City did not flinch.
No doubt. And the Royals, what they do, if deGrom is Mike Tyson, what the Royals did is they executed a bunch of jabs. They do what they do. They hit you with small, keep the ball in the yard. They get base hit after base hit. They're relentless, and they put the ball in play.
I don't think the Royals care who's pitching against them. They just know they're going to put the bat on the ball. They're always going to have an inning where they get 4 or 5 hits. And it's unbelievable the rallies they put together. It's not common, believe me.
I hate to go back to stats, but this is the best fastball hitting team in baseball. Over 300 pitches, over 95. deGrom tonight didn't have his 98. Electric stuff was around 96, with the 95, 96. That shows the great hitting fastball team they are, and that's why they're such a force right now, and they're comfortable in their 2nd appearance in the World Series in 2 years.
All right, so here's the thing. Mets are going home now. They've been great at home, especially in this 2nd half. That's a positive for them. Negative is, though, their 2 best pitchers just lost, Pete. Give me a status report of what the Mets are feeling like right now getting on that plane.
Well, they're going home. They think they can win there, but I agree with Alex. Cespedes has got to do something. He's got to ignite this offense, because when your best player, your hottest hitter since he got there, is not producing, it's really rough to win.
The other thing is Cespedes is their best player, no matter how hot Daniel Murphy is. You saw what he did this summer. He transformed that franchise. All he needs is one big hit to say the New York Mets, we're back, we're here to stay, and we're going to play a long series.
Right. Yeah, he's hitting .227 in the playoffs. Pete, they love you here in Kansas City.
What do they want me to do?
I think they just want you in general.
Should I get up on the thing and sing? Huh?
I'm all for it.
You're taking the pressure off again, Pete.
Get it going, Pete. Look, they're here for you. Pete waves the Mets tail on Friday.
Flopper will be back on Friday.
Frank, you told us you wouldn't make a prediction to Game 3. So as ridiculous as that was, can you finally make a prediction on the series now?
I'm still waiting. No, I'm going to go with the Royals. I'm going to go with the Royals.
Yeah, that's a lunge.
When I got here, I was saying Royals in 7, but who knows? It could be Royals in 6 where they're playing right now. This team is very confident. They've had it on their mind all year long. All year long, they want to get back to this World Series and prove that they're a better team.
That really got us thinking, because Frank, this is not the first time Frank has had a bold idea about predicting things. He's done it plenty of times before. Frank has done this. Frank predicts. Look, he predicted that Ali would knock out Liston. I think it's a little while ago. What else did Frank predict? Obama would win the presidency.
I knew this one.
Frank, you predicted it last week. He's been in office for 8 years.
Chicago Blackhawks.
The U.S. would knock off the Soviet Union.
Well, I was back in diapers back then, but yeah, I had an England back then.
Again, you predicted it in 1992. Dewey beats Truman. Frank had this in 1986.
Back to the future.
Tremendous job. Boy, we hire the best analysts, the best predictors here. It's just great stuff. Peter, he's really on top of it, huh?
Wow.
All right. That'll that'll do it for now. We've got plenty more going, though, on FS1. Royals win big, up 2-0 in this series. More post-game coverage of tonight's game and exclusive interviews. Please turn to Fox Sports Live on FS1. And coming up on Fox, your late local news. We'll see you over on FS1 in a moment.